wait. Can I invite somebody?
Well, can't they say they can't hear over you? It'll clear up in a minute.
How you turn the volume up?
It's up. Should be up.
I can
I got it.
disconnect.
You got it. I think it's good. It's all the way up. Perfect. Okay. Just talk to yourself.
Be quiet. Okay.
And then you can hit the.
There we go. All right.
Do you know where? Is it live?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Look, nobody behind. It's a restricted area. That's retarded. That's retarded. So when you sign up for the thing, how you bring it to the lady? All because he got his butt hurt. They should stop it where that press is at, right there. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Let me get right here. Sorry, babe. I'm gonna knock into you one day. Oh, Lord. You on your bullshit again?
We'll see.
I see your lies. Hey, you got a point, though. So people can't get up in their face and record. But you got the press right there over the barricade. Let me see if I could get it right. I don't know how to zoom. It's 7:30 now. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call report for 10 February 2026. Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Here.
Ms. Cole?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Tuck? Here. Mr. Huffman?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds? Mr. Rexroad?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Polkowski?
Here. Council minutes from January 20th and January 27th meetings have been printed, posted, and dispensed. Is there any corrections, additions?
Move to approve.
Any motion? And a second? Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Polkowski?
Yes. Do we have any reports from standing or special committees? I have one here. Due to weather, downtown PKB board met virtually on January 28th at 3 p.m. So we just finished up restaurant week, so here's a couple highlights from that meeting. It was extended a week due to weather. Some of you may have seen that iHeartMedia has taken over the summer concert series, and there should be more details and announcements to follow from iHeartMedia. That's exciting. The steering committee for the America's 250 celebration has been meeting. Some of the highlights, subject to change, is the Actors Guild is going to do production of 1776 on Friday, 7/3 at Bicentennial Park. Plans for the 4th of July itself, opening ceremony with mock signing the Declaration of Independence. They're planning on having food trucks, car show, cannon firing. They're going to do trolley tours to the historic district. Parkersburg Brewing Company is going to do their monthly bluegrass jam during that time. They'll have live bands and fireworks on the 4th of July evening. Committee is currently working to raise funds. With the W closing recently, there's now 16 restaurants downtown, with 13 locally owned, and also some exciting new businesses going in at 929 Market Street. We have Reuben's Deli moving from Emerson down there, and Martin's Family Candy will occupy the other side of the building, so that'll be a great addition to downtown. Westbrook is currently renovating the West Banco building, and will be consolidating their administrative offices downtown. I've heard numbers from 20 to 40, so somewhere in there, jobs that will be relocated downtown. And they're planning to have those completed here within the next couple months. Construction has begun on Wood County Development Authority and downtown PKB joint offices. Those are going to be at the old Vision Care facility, old Civil War Hospital. They're projected 40 weeks of construction. Planned move-in date will be October of 2026. Their Wayfair committee is met, and they're working on exploring signage downtown that may be outdated and need moved or improved. Discovery World Theater is now open. The theater is called the Ember, and this, let's see here, this weekend I believe that is Thursday, I'm sorry, today's the 10th. So Thursday, February 12th, they're going to have a community and ribbon cutting from 5 to 7 p.m. Taste of Parkersburg this year will be May 9th, 6 to 11 p.m. And one piece of news to pass along is John Nicholson, a longtime board member. He preceded downtown PKB as a Rediscover Parkersburg board member, and he is trying to readjust the schedule, and he announced his resignation. So we'd just like to thank him for his decades of service to our community. And that's all I got. Hearing no other reports, we'll move on to public forum. Our public forum will be 40 minutes in length, 4 minutes for each speaker. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody signed up tonight?
Yes, sir, about a half a dozen. The first one is Mr. Benoit, followed by Ms. Whitlatch.
Good evening. How's everybody this evening? I'm here tonight to speak to council. My name is Ray Benoit. I'm a resident of Council District 9. I'm also a declared candidate for the Republican Executive Committee. I'm going to be representing District A5. I've stood at this podium many times, and tonight I ask to you, not just as a taxpayer, but through the lens of my 40-year career in nuclear oversight. In my industry, there was no such thing as a minor procedural shortcut. And the process is, if the process is flawed, the outcome is invalid. It cost a lot of people's lives if I made a mistake. Tonight, you're moving toward a final vote on a sanitation and recycling ordinance that have undergone changes since its introduction. Specifically, the addition of the $1.50 monthly surcharge, and according to West Virginia Code 811-4, any ordinance with the principal object of raising revenue requires formal public hearing. A discussion in a prior meeting does not satisfy the statutory requirement for a hearing on the current revision of the bill. By passing a new properly advertised public hearing on these specific new fees, the council is ignoring the procedural standards mandated by law. And I've mentioned that law. Some may view the recent dismissal of the PSC case as a reason to expedite this process, but on the contrary, that dismissal pertained to a previous irradiation of city policy. Tonight's vote creates a brand new financial structure and consequently a brand new set of legal obligations. To proceed with the final vote tonight without a new hearing.
Sir, this is the first reading, it's not a final vote.
It doesn't matter, it's going to pass on. If it passes on, I'll take it from you. No, I don't have any time set. So I get 4 minutes from now. Thank you. To proceed with the final vote without a new hearing is to invite further regulatory scrutiny and potential litigation. It is a risk this city does not need to take. I am seeking a seat in the executive committee because I believe our local leadership must prioritize oversight every expediency. We need representatives who understand that the city charter and the state code are not hurdles to be cleared, but standards to be met. My goal is to ensure that our party supports candidates who are committed to physical transparency and who respect the public's right to be heard. For the sake of transparency and legal compliance, I ask this council table tonight's vote until a formal public hearing is conducted on the current fee structure. Let's do this the right way, by the book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Whitlatch.
I wasn't going to come tonight. It's always a waste of time, but I'm here. Question, what is happening? Since we are only allowed to talk about what is on the agenda, it is usually too late. Article 955 tonight, changes to solid waste and recycling ordinances. The ordinance to be changed after one contract has already been signed. Should the ordinance have been amended before the contract was signed? I don't know. I was told the horseshoe pit is to be demolished. The horseshoe pit is another example of letting something go. Like the pavilion, like the sanitation department, this is a wake-up call. Question, what's planned for that area? We were told there was enough parking to handle events to the new big beautiful building. We don't need another slab of cement in the park. The people of Parkersburg should have a voice before changes are made, not just an hour before a council meeting for council to listen and then just go ahead on what they want, as what happened with sanitation. Just like the vote on the ordinance tonight for responsibility for trash pickup, we will be made aware of the plans for the horseshoe pit too late. There will be a vote to approve a bid, and the next day, work will start just like the pavilion. The park should remain a park, not a parking lot. I am the 4th generation to live here. 2 of my children and 6 grandchildren live here. As things are, I would not recommend my grandchildren, 6th generation, to raise their children here. Read the letter to the editor in last week's paper. That person has it correct. quote, who wants to live here and why should they?
Thank you.
Next we have, is it Callie? I'm sorry, I never get your name right. Casey?
Hello, it's Casey Petrin. So, I want to talk plainly about recycling, because honestly, this doesn't need to be complicated to make sense. Right now, we're being asked to outsource something that we already have the ability to do ourselves. We already have the infrastructure. The missing piece seems to be a scale. That's it, a scale. And with the money freed up from the sanitation contract, that's a problem that we could easily solve immediately. And instead, we're choosing to send recycling out of house, paying someone else to do the work that we're already equipped to handle. That's convenience at a premium. Here's how this feels to people at home. It's like having all the ingredients, the stove, the kitchen, but ordering McDonald's on a credit card because cooking feels like a hassle. It costs more, and you don't own the outcome. A scale is a one-time investment. Outsourcing is a long-term bill with interest. And it doesn't stop there. With a scale in place, we wouldn't just keep recycling local, but we could generate revenue by charging surrounding municipalities to drop their recycling here. That's not hypothetical. That's how public infrastructure is supposed to work. It serves our residents first and strengthens our city second. This isn't a capacity problem, it's a decision problem. When we outsource, we lose control, we lose transparency, and eventually we lose leverage. As I said to this council before, the risk stays public and the profit goes private. And that's a pattern people are tired of seeing. Good stewardship means using what we already own before signing another long-term check. A check that we'll be writing long after the mayor's term is over. It means not asking just what's easiest tonight, but what costs our residents more 5 and 10 years down the road. We have the tools, we have the opportunity. All we need is the will to choose local control over outsourced convenience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next we have Elisha
Did
Symbol,
you send a picture to Cole?
Abbey Village.
What did he say?
I was not even going to come up and speak, but I just felt like this really strong desire to just speak on something. And you guys might even cut me off, so we'll see where this goes. I want to speak on a pattern when large numbers of your constituents are continuously showing up and speak clearly and express overwhelming opposition or concern that it should matter. The public input should not feel symbolic, so we totally removed public forum. We have to speak along agenda items, and I just don't feel that that's systematically okay. You know, we come up here and we speak and we're, you know, always at risk of being cut off because we don't know, like if something's going to get misconstrued or something just doesn't want to hurt. And I'm not just speaking for myself, I'm speaking for everybody, a lot of people in the community, a lot. I can't say everybody. I can say that I have not met one single person that other city council members claim that there's been multiple constituents stating that they did not want this whole sanitation to happen. I've not once met one person. So with that being said, I think that this is a pattern. This happens to be, I totaled it up, the seventh thing that the community has obviously been against, and nobody wants to listen. We have the same 3 city council members that actually want to take in consideration what's being talked about, and everybody else is just... That's all I have to say. I do thank you for letting me finish, Andrew. I do thank you. And I just hope that you guys sleep good and can make the right decisions. And again, we're going to remember this during election time.
Thank you.
Next we have
I've asked Mr. Moore to pass out a spreadsheet that I prepared, Brian Hayden, 631st Street. I'm providing you tonight with a spreadsheet to help make a point. Changes to Article 955 in regards to billing for recycling is destined to fail. On many different levels, it's destined to fail. The structure of the billing is designed to overcharge the people of Parkersburg by tens of thousands of dollars up until the point where we start to lose money. If participation in recycling is at 10% or below, the city will bring in from $39,000 to $62,000 of excess fees annually by overcharging the people. This overcharging is far in excess of any possible bad debt claim. Now, above 12% participation in recycling, and the billing is insufficient to cover the contracted charges. The nice thing about math and facts is they don't care how you feel. They're facts. I implore you to consult the city finance director and validate my numbers. I have an independent accountant to go over my mathematics as well as my formulas. They're bulletproof. We're overcharging the people, we're under-delivering, and then if we do encourage participation, we're going to go broke doing it. Now, if during the debate on this motion you have any questions, you as counselors are authorized to ask any non-member to answer specific questions. The plan as written appears to be a robust attempt to discourage people from participating in a state codified program designed to reduce the amount of trash that we cast into our haulers and bury for our future generations to deal with. Now, secondly, with the dissolution of the city service comes the inevitable question, what to do with the money? The 2025 budget, page 82, which we stated was where it was stated $2.9 million was available in the sanitation fund. 12,000 residences at $22 a month have continued to contribute since the beginning of the fiscal year. Staffing levels have been far below budget, and it is not known what of these millions of dollars remain. Here in this chamber, the finance director stated that the sanitation fund was solvent. This indicates that there was not a fiduciary failure that drove us to contracting out an essential service. The monies will now be unencumbered. These were fees for future services. They were not taxes. Will the city refund to the people who paid these fees? Or will it be as when we sold the bridge? It'll become another park legacy or vanity project. What will become of the hundreds of thousands of dollars that were contributed to the Capital Reserve Fund for the exclusive use of the sanitation department? Will those dollars be reallocated to other departments? These are fees, not taxes. We paid for services. We didn't get them. If you went to a restaurant and they charged you for appetizers you didn't get, I am certain each and every one of you would dispute the bill. Now, with this in mind, this is conjecture, for I cannot prove that getting access to the sanitation funds was the intent of driving sanitation into the ground. But I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay, and when a waterfowl quacks, it's usually called a duck. Thank you.
And the last one is Carrie Talrico.
I like your doom for that.
Hi, Carrie Talrico, District 2. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about recycling. Just like I said with sanitation, I feel if you're going to have any kind of input, any kind of control, then we need to invest in our people, we need to just run it. If we're going to outsource, then you need to get your hands out of it so that we can have our own choices. Now, I believe investing in our people, investing in our recycling program is worth it. Save the guys that we have left. So I'll just run you through a real quick option. $5 per household, Parkersburg household. Parkersburg residents can get a tag or identifier. That would be $720,000 annual. We learned that the mark was over $500,000, pull over $500,000 to run. You could do business subscriptions for $20 a month, I'm just giving examples, to drop off. And out of 4,000 businesses in Wood County, if 200 signed up, that would be an extra $48,000 per year. Also, if a city needed a place to bring their recycling, example Vienna, if they charged $1 or $2 per unit, whatever it is, as a disposal fee, drop-off fee, sorting fee, whatever you want to label it, that could be a possible $60,000 to $120,000 per year from neighboring cities that utilized and would probably like to utilize our recycling facility. Also, if they didn't do it, it's less to sort, so it's really not that big of a loss. My point is there's ways that we should be investing in what we already have here. If we're not going to use it, then it needs to be people's choice, and we need to just not put our hands in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, Madam Clerk?
That's the last one, sir.
Okay, message from the executive.
Yeah, I got it. First of all, and I'll ask Mr. Myers to weigh in on this, because I've been involved with city government as a councilor and mayor for
Am I in your way?
16 years, and with regards to public hearings and rate adjustments or rate making authority rate ordinances, those public hearings have traditionally been done in conjunction with the second reading. Is that my understanding, Mr. Myers?
Yes.
And you're confident that that meets the statutory requirement?
The ordinance relating to the contract does not have a statutory requirement for public hearing. The ordinance dealing with 955 does involve a rate change, and that does require a public hearing. The public hearing is always noticed for the final adoption, not the first reading. And that will be done for the February 26th. Or no, 24th.
Thank you. Mr. Giles, have you had a chance to look at this spreadsheet? I assume this is a document that was emailed that I didn't know because I was with Google Docs. Have you seen this? Well, I just, you worked with Mr. Bukowski with regards to the rate structure to satisfy the 900 minimums. Could you give a little synopsis or a breakdown? I mean, I remember Mr. Bukowski being very clear at the meeting, I think it was on Monday, I can't remember, when we talked about recycling. And, I mean, this is, I haven't checked the map. We've been very clear all along, at least I recall Mr. Bukowski stating that once we reached a certain number of participants, subscribers, that there would have to be rate adjustments. Can you talk a little bit about your figures on that?
Yeah, so the rate structure in these ordinances is $1.50 per household, okay? And that's what we'll call a surcharge. And that is expected to net approximately $200,000 in realized revenue. And then the per subscriber fee is $3 per subscription. Now, that is projected to net nearly $45,000 in realized revenue. So if we have, and that will pay for 1,330 subscribers. Now that's an estimate. You know, it all, and it'll take a little bit of time to build that subscriber base up. Now, when we looked at the subscription model and what it might look like for us, we took a look at the city of Huntington. The city of Huntington does a subscription-based model. Now, their current rate, I think, is somewhere around, $11 per month. And on $11 per month, they have 1,350-ish subscribers. Now, their population is 1/3 larger than ours. And so, we modeled our subscription estimate at similar number, 1,330, given that our model is much more affordable for people who choose to recycle. fewer than 1,330 subscribers, then there would be a surplus, which is 100% governed by city council. City council decides what to do with that, not the city administration. City council votes on how that surplus would be handled, whether that's through, some form of credit or some form of reserve for future rate adjustments or anything like that. That's 100% of city council. If the subscriber base goes above 1,330, then we would have to look at what the rate we're charging. Now, we do an evaluation on all rates annually. So that's nothing any different than what we do now for every rate that we charge for anything. And then, so annually, that's looked at. Where are we at? What do we need to do? But the idea here is that this rate structure makes it more economically advantageous for people to sign up for recycling than it would be to get an extra trash can and send stuff to the landfill. So it'd be cheaper to recycle than it would be to throw more stuff away. And so that's the incentive that we're hoping we can incentivize residents to recycle over throw stuff away at the landfill.
Thank you, Eric. I want to, a couple of points in the ordinance. There was comments made that what to do with the money that's in the sanitation fund. Now, these are fees that have been paid for lackluster service for at least most of the last calendar year. I think it has gotten a little better. But folks, I think we made it very clear that our intent was to credit, and I think we landed on 2 months for those folks who were current with regards to that. Isn't that what you kind of estimated would be in reserve?
Yeah, that would be.
Now we have not, and I know Dwayne and I have discussed this, we're not 100% sure how that's going to look with council, but at some point, city council will likely vote on a budget resolution or some kind of enabling piece of legislation, be it a resolution or I don't know if it had to be an ordinance. That's quite frankly what we need to figure out to make that credit happen. So this any statements that this is a grab for the sanitation, I mean, we talked about that first on January 6th. I mean, that was very clear. So I want to talk a minute to remember about one last thing. So Eric commented, if there's a surplus, just like any other surplus, mid-year surplus, year-end surplus, then I of you govern over where that money is appropriate. I would certainly tell you that if there's a surplus this time next year, that you reserve that to make the subscription rate, because it goes up. I mean, we're voting on a contract, 1525, 1586, 1649, 1715, and 1784, which what I have gleaned from those figures and just the reality is it's a labor intensive. I mean, it's not free. For many years, it was unpriced, the curbside recycling in the city of Parkersburg, but it was never free. We were paying for it through our fees. So that would be, I assure you, if there's a surplus, that would be the administration's recommendation is leave it where it is, and if we have to raise the subscription rate, we'll have to raise it that much. We didn't have the sanitation fees for the entire time I've been here. And then I guess the last thing I would just talk about the ordinance and the contract in general. I've been every night, or every week, folks say, well, the mayor did this on purpose, the mayor did this on purpose.
Yep.
I get up every day, I come down here, and I'm solving problems. Sometimes the problems are, how do we plow 4 inches of ice off of our 232 miles of city streets? This week, yesterday, was it yesterday or today? Potholes. Yesterday we talked about potholes. we put together a plan to make sure that we had personnel, enough materials, because they're already out there. We're gonna put up to three crews, right, Everett, out doing potholes starting Friday. We're still opening up drains and things. My point is, this job is 99% about solving problems. Can't solve everybody's problem, all right? But we've obviously had much discussed, much belabored, labor participation, shortages, all that kind of stuff. We've talked about all that. What this ordinance does, and what this contract does, both issues tonight, get reliable, consistent trash service. And more importantly, with recycling, restores a service that we're statutorily obligated to provide to our residents, and it does it for, I applaud Mr. Bukowski and Eric for the $1.50. It shares the cost. Those folks who do wish to participate pay a little bit more. It falls in line with what the RFP committee talked about back in October. Mr. Brown, you were there, which was, we gotta modify the trash. We need to, and then when we saw these numbers, we all kind of had a little bit of sticker shock. I mean, I know I did, I know Mr. Bukowski did. And over the course of the few weeks after we got these prices, we thought, this is not going to be economically feasible for a lot of residents. Folks are just going to say, well, hell, I could just get an extra can for, I don't know, I have that contract in front of me, $4.75 a month. So why would I recycle? I save myself $8, $8.75 or whatever it is in the first year. So I think this is a good compromise to what is a problem that, if you want to blame me for it, fine. I didn't create it, but I'm just trying to get our customers back to the service that they deserve, that they've been paying for. And then the last thing I'll say, I'm not categorically opposed by any means to go out and get your own trash service, but that does, the piece of this, through the solid waste in particular, that we gotta lose sight of, can't lose sight of is, we have anywhere from 1,000 people in any given month to 1,200 that don't pay their bills. You don't pay your bill to a private hauler, they're not gonna pick up your trash, I assure you. And that is a concern that I heard from several of you going back to the last summer. How are we gonna ensure? So that is why I advocated for negotiated contract with waste management and why we retained the vote. Make no mistake about it. I mean, hell, there are people here in this room tonight who owe the city over $1,000. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but there's folks in this room who haven't paid their trash bills and police fees for months and months and months, probably years. And that's just the reality that we live. So I encourage council to adopt the ordinance, approve the contract on first reading, and I know Mr. Rupert from Rumpke is here. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving down, we have an ordinance that's been tabled. I'd ask you make for a motion to remove from the table.
He does.
To make a motion to remove the recycling program agreement from being tabled back on the table.
We're at first and second. Madam Clerk, vote please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. School?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
That's three.
Ms. Tuck? Mr.
Oh,
Hubbard?
shit.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad? Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess we move on to reading the ordinance. Can you read item 1 on our agenda, Ms.?
An ordinance authorizing approval of recycling program agreement.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
move for adoption of the ordinance
We'll correct that to advance the second reading.
and advance the second reading.
Thank you. We have a first, we have a second.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Ms.
I wondered if we might ask Mr. Rupert to just address the situation from Rumpke's point of view. We've had several meetings and we haven't heard from him. Would it be possible to describe your plan and just so that we can be
You want to ask some questions? Is that what you'd like to do?
I would just like to hear from, we just haven't had a chance to hear from you yet, so I would really appreciate just your description of your services and how that would work for the city of Parkersburg.
Are you okay with that? Would you like to come to the podium? Please, thank you.
Thank you.
What all questions do you have? I mean, you want to talk, I mean, from a summary on how we'd implement it to first day pickup, or?
Yeah, I think many of us just are, some of us have read the contract millions of times.
Right.
And others really haven't known exactly what we're being offered, so it would be helpful to be here now.
We turned the bid in. Well, first off, my name's Nick Rupert, run through Waste and Recycling, 1265 East Canal Street, Nelsonville, Ohio. We turned in bid for site recycling for the city of Parkersburg. It involves a 95-gallon cart serviced every other week. Now, how do we get there on that piece of it? And what we do is work with the mayor, council on. We need to do a marketing type program on that through social media, city's website, and say, okay,
I don't know.
we're going to do 60 days or 90 days of, hey, look, we need you to sign up. We have either, like when we did Huntington, West Virginia, we have Huntington Recycles.com or whatever it was. So you go to that link, you click on it. So anybody that wants to sign up for it, they would list their first and last name for the service address, service address, and then you would need to list your billing address and the number of cans that you would want for that on there. So, and the reason why you want to do that is so you're not coming over for, you're trying to deliver all these carts at one time instead of that. Then also you're able to build a list of it. We also request an email address and a phone number on that as well. So if something changes with recycling and we add a product to that list, we can do a mass email so everybody gets it immediately. One of the other things with that being said, I'm talking about acceptable items. I've heard that Rumpke has, we have a wide array of materials on there: cardboard, newspaper, magazine, junk mail, wire-bound notebooks, envelopes even with plastic window on them, aluminum cans, steel food cans, septic containers. The septic containers are like your milk cartons or your orange juice. You'll see in a gallon type deals like that. And then we get into the plastics, glass bottles and jars of all colors on that. And it's just glass bottles and jars. It's not like
I can just throw that shit in my fucking trash.
Dishes and pans and
That's what
things
they
of
want
that
to do with
nature
their
on there.
plate.
But then you get into the plastics. When we take the plastic
That's not been
bottles,
both of them.
where the opening is smaller than the base, like Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Tide detergent bottles, that type of plastic bottles. We also do butter tubs, yogurt containers, the plastic cups like you get from Starbucks, McDonald's on there, and then we take all of this material. We want it loose. We do not want bags. Bags are a no-no on that, and that'll be on. We have a frequently asked question about how to prepare it because it needs to be prepared properly on that. We don't want bags. We don't want trash in there. It's predominant. It's a dark green recycling container. Has Rumpke Recycling on the side of it. You throw all your materials into that loose. Driver will come by. You flip the lid up, and he'll start emptying. He notices that there's trash in there. He's not going to sort that curb. All that does is just enable a resident to do it. He's going to tag it. He's going to put a tag on it. He's going to note it on his route sheet that, hey, this is the, there's check boxes on it that there is on there. So that, what that does is that lets the resident know that, hey, our driver was there, but these materials are unacceptable on that. And then it will go on that. We cannot take trash that's in the recycling cars. And then we will take that material
and then it'll make its way to Columbus and they'll process it. You guys are more than welcome on there. Anybody that wants to tour our facility, it's an open book. It's at 1190 Jacobs Road in Columbus, Ohio. It is actually, it opened in June or July of 2025. It is the largest materials recovery facility in North America. It's technologically advanced. I encourage you, you guys come up and take a look. If it's something you would see on Marvels and on TV, it is impressive. But then going back to the sign up, a little off track with it, but there is a lot to this. Going back to the sign up, we would have all of that information, supply that to the city on a monthly basis of who is signed up for that program, and we'll be here every other week, and then we'll also be sending out flyers. That's one of the important things on the email address on there, is because it's like, okay, once we get an idea of how many people are in here, we will break this down into routes. We split the town in half. I mean, which way do we split it on there? And we'll be able to say, hey, you're here, we'll provide you with, off the get-go, probably only a 3-month calendar, because you want to get back out again. Huntington, we're down to where we do a yearly calendar on that piece of it. We do, and it tells you every day. And if there's a holiday that's on that, like, let's just say that your instance, you guys' day is Friday. I don't know what day it would be, but if it's on Friday, it's at Thanksgiving, always on Thursday, so that would be highlighted as we would pick you up on Saturday on that. So it's a nice little calendar that's highlighted that says these are the dates that you are picked up on there. And then if there's any changes, like I say, if Rumpke decides that they find a market for another type of material that can be taken into the recycling stream, then we'll send out a mass email on that, not only get hold of the city, hey, look, here it is, but these are the types of material, the extra material that we can take, you place it in your cart, and we come by every other week. Yeah.
That's good. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. We have a motion, second, any other discussion?
Yeah, I got something to say.
Play the video, please. Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
To determine the feasibility of continuing operations for the city-operated MRF and curbside collection, the cost analysis was based on current operation costs reduced by scale, along with current commodity revenues from the State Waste Management Board as of December 31st, 2025. By reducing the operating expenses from the sanitation department into a new recycling department, modest operating budget of $1 million for limited employees and equipment. Some expenses remain fixed, such as utilities and building maintenance, while other adjustable expenses such as insurance and equipment maintenance would be reduced. The only small increase was in marketing to encourage higher participation rates. Revenue from commodities was estimated to be reflective of a 3-year historic average, using historic revenue and participation rates by charging only those subscribing to recycling service. The monthly fee would be $22 to $23 per customer.
That's
By
fine.
maintaining that every resident pay a recycling fee whether they recycle or not, the monthly fee could be lowered to a range of $4 to $5 per resident per month. Both result in a higher monthly fee as opposed to utilizing contract labor with the industry leader providing the service in a much more efficient and improved manner. There is no fair method to continue the processing of materials for county-wide non-residents at the expense of Parkersburg residents and taxpayers. The proposed contract with the company revised rate ordinance will provide those residents who wish to participate in recycling to do so and in compliance with the state law, environmentally conscious, and made
I can't hear a word he's
more
saying with that
fairness
music
to all
so loud.
residents and ratepayers.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
We didn't hear a word he said with that music up so loud. It was loud. Thank you, Miss Sharon.
Anybody else?
Mr. President,
Ms. McCready?
along with that, this proposed contract and revised 955 ordinance accomplish multiple things that are important to curbside recycling that have been provided in the past, and certainly are a solution to the current state of curbside recycling in Parkersburg. By contracting with Rumpke, materials acceptable for recycling are increased to include number 5 plastics, plastic food containers, and even paper coffee cups. Rumpke plans to maintain a robust list of materials and that they will recycle at curbside. Single stream collection means no longer will residents have to sort their recycled materials into multiple containers. The weather will not affect the ability for materials such as cardboard and paper to be recycled, as the collection will be in covered containers to limit their becoming wet and then becoming trash ending up in the landfill. Recyclables processed by Rumpke are 98% recovered as they have advanced in their recycling model with the new multi-million-dollar recycling facility in Navy, Ohio. This multi-million-dollar facility is 250,000 square feet, coupled with Rumpke, nearly 100 years of experience. They're an industry leader in recycling and are positioned to make the products our customers intend to be recycled. This compromised rate ordinance allows customers to decide on their waste and recycling, consider their usage and financial impact, with consideration given to what is most suitable to their personal and household needs and conditions.
Thank you, Ms. McCready.
Mr. President,
Ms. Squibb?
I have 2 questions that I've got set up, so I want to ask the mayor. I've had people ask me, I know what it is, they want to hear it said publicly. The MRF is going to close, correct?
Yes. We're required to provide curbside recycling. Yes, our intention is to close the MRF because you just saw a video of where our material is going to end up, correct, Mr. Rupert? You guys didn't build that thing to take the recycling to your competitors, I assume. And you know, if that's been a county-wide facility for 40 years, 30 some odd years, used by the county, I think everybody's heard me say that the Solid Waste Authority has the authority to do so if they choose to do that, and that's another potential use for any surpluses. If council elects to do that, you can partner with them. And, I think you have a fiduciary duty to our resident customers. I love people in Mineral Wells as much as the next guy, but for many years, our customers have been subsidizing countywide recycling programs. So yes, the MRF would cease operations.
Thank you. I have one question for our city attorney, Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers, does this ordinance comply with the state law on curbside recycling?
Well, I don't think so. The state law requires municipalities of more than 10,000 residents to have a recycling program. That's been in place for 30-some years. But it doesn't mandate how that's done. And I think the
Yes, she has.
contract, as described by the representative of our youth, accomplishes picking up recyclable materials, which frankly we haven't been able to do since about last May. So in my opinion, it does comply, yes. And the number, as was mentioned, Huntington also does a subscription model, so not everybody does it the same way. But I'm confident that the contract complies with the intent of the statute.
Thank you. I just want to read a statement that I
not Parkersburg Recycling Center. It's a community recycling center. We do it for all of the county. So all of the county can bring everything down to the MRF. And we do that. We pay for it. Not them. City of Parkersburg. The citizens have been paying for that. The initial investment was provided by the Wood County Solid Waste Authority and accepts recycled products from residents throughout Wood County, including Vienna, Williamstown, North Hills, Parkersburg, and all unincorporated areas. I've been taking my recycling down there, you would not believe how many cars came from a high, which you, citizens of Parkersburg, have been paying for. My understanding is that this was not meant to be a commercial recycling center for commercial use by carriers or private businesses. The city of Parkersburg processed all the recyclable products collected in Wood County for 33 years, beginning in 1994. This service included the processing of materials collected by private carriers who collected fees for the curbside service, but paid no fee for the processing, which has been 100% paid by the Parkersburg residents and taxpayers. No one else put any money into it. The administration ceased the free service to commercial waste haulers December of 2025. The administration has continued to process materials collected at the Community Recycling Center, primarily to serve the citizens of Parkersburg who had their curbside collection suspended in May of 2025 due to much discussed equipment issues, labor shortages, and staffing shortfalls. These materials continue to be processed at the expense of Parkersburg residents, not being charged a dime. The restoration of curbside recycling to our residents will satisfy our requirements and provide a much more robust and effective means of recycling for those who elect to participate at much more reasonable and affordable cost to the customer than initially proposed, but does require a modest cost be passed on to our customers to keep the program affordable and protect the city from potential financial obligations without revenue to pay for these obligations. Believing the cost of processing should be county-wide expense, not just the city of Parkersburg, since the service is county-wide, 35 counties in West Virginia currently provide community recycling through their county solid waste authorities. And Wood County Solid Waste Authority has agreed to explore opportunities for continuing community-wide recycling services for the entire county. And Gabby came up with the app, we haven't heard of it. And has another meeting scheduled for later this month with the operators of the landfill to discuss for the future development of their own MRF or recycling transfer station. I want to just add one thing. When the private haulers brought their recycling products to our recycling center, we did not charge them. One of the biggest reasons we did not charge them, we did not have the equipment. You have to have, it's just like going and driving a tractor trailer rig down the highway and you have to go into the weigh station. We don't have the weight. We did not have the scales to properly weigh them to know how much they would want. And we did not invest in that because we could not afford to do that because we were already running at a deficit and we wasn't putting any more on the city of Parkersburg. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Cool.
Any truck stop has a waste station.
Any other comments from council?
I drive 18 miles. Yeah. I do.
So, since I've been involved with this, I'd like to give a little bit of history
Whew.
on where we're at
What the fuck?
and how we got to this point. So in October of this year, or last year actually, that's 2025, when the committee met to review the RFP responses, it became apparent that the city could save our customers some money if we were to separate the solid waste collection service from curbside recycling. Specifically, the administration determined that the current rate of $22 per month could be lowered immediately, and our residents and customers could pay what is now proposed and passed, and the ordinance to follow, $19.50 a month. For an industry leader to provide solid waste collection using the previously discussed and approved contracted labor model and contract. Now, with the proposed 2-month credit, that would actually, first year of this contract, would bring your fees for solid waste removal down to $16.25 for the first year of service. The part of the RFP solicited proposal and responses that received the most discussion was the contractor model and pricing, which mandated all customers paid for recycling at a cost of approximately $5 a month, even if a resident customer chose not to recycle. Many of us on the committee, myself included, felt this model and contract would result in a substantial amount of our residents' money being remitted to a contractor for a service that they did not use. Conservative estimates show potentially $500,000 a year, $500,000 a year, could have been collected and remitted to a contractor for a service not received. In researching additional options, it was discovered West Virginia allows a subscription-based service in which only those choosing to use the service are charged. Therefore, an additional RFP was advertised to see what options this would provide. Unfortunately, when we received, the mayor and council felt that the $15 rate was too high and would discourage our residents from curbside recycling, as the cost when compared to purchasing a second cart from Waste Management, which was much less. I then met with the administration and finance department to discuss alternative ideas. In that meeting, we determined that the best compromise would be to require citywide participation at a very small rate of $1.50, with those choosing to recycle paying $3 more each month. Mr. Giles conferred with Rumpke that this approach would satisfy the current contract terms and that the contractor would bill the city. Therefore, we present the option this evening to council for their consideration. The RFP committee felt that this approach to recycling, coupled with how waste was collected in the past, that had become unsustainable in servicing our customers, and I believe this compromise affords our customers the opportunity to make decisions that are both responsible for the environment as well as appropriate for their own economic factors and situation. And ultimately, the goal of reducing waste to the landfill. But most importantly, restores the curbside service across both solid waste and recycling spectrum back to the residents that we are here to serve. So I believe this proposal, based on all circumstances, is fair and equitable to all parties involved. Rumpke, our contractor, those that do recycle, those that don't recycle, and the city of Parkersburg. So with that said, we've tabled this for a month.
But none of them
I've
have
yet to hear
nothing
an
to do with
approach,
this.
a different approach. And if that's the case, it really comes down to one simple question. Are you for or against reestablishing curbside recycling? So I urge passage. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, vote please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck? No. Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Rexford?
No.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Ordinance on first reading passes. Madam Clerk, item 2.
An ordinance amending and reenacting Article 955.
Mr. President,
Mr. Brown.
make a motion to advance ordinance number 2 on to the second reading.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk, vote please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck? No. Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Rexford?
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski.
Yes, ordinance on first reading passes. Madam Clerk, item number 3, please.
An ordinance amending Part 1, Chapter 7, Article 162 of the codified ordinances of the city of Parkersburg to address membership composition of the Parkersburg City Commission.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
move for adoption of the ordinance and move to second reading.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
I have 2 questions.
Ms. Cool.
For Mr. Barber. Mr. Barber, could you come up here, please? I'm so sorry everyone knows about the passing of our arborist. Have you found another arborist for the tree commission? Are you looking?
So we're proposing to eliminate that section. So the section is back in 2014. The tree commission has 8 seats. 4 are already accounted for. We have the city planner that has a seat, a city council representative, the city arborist, and the public works director. Since I've been with the city hasn't had a city designated arborist. So we're proposing to eliminate that section and free up the space for a 5th member at large.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions, or discussion?
Mr. President?
Ms. Tuck.
I am the council liaison on that committee. It's a very active committee. Everybody on it is very committed to Parkersburg being a tree city and Arbor Day and lots of different activities and planting trees. I think we have 39 trees planted for plan to plant this fall. And so I feel very supportive of this ordinance because I think we do need those other members of the community to fill that committee out. There's a significant amount of work that that committee does. And so I think it would benefit us to have the full body of that committee without designating one to be an arborist. I think we wouldn't be opposed if we could find someone, but I think that to reserve the seat for somebody that we don't have right now limits the work of that committee.
Thank you, Ms. Tuck. Any other comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, vote please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Hoagland?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Ordinance on first reading passes. Have a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
A second.